What's up, y'all, man? We just got the latest chapter of Kagurabachi, Chapter 73, and after being on a break for a whole week, I'm glad it's back. I'm glad it's back. Yo, it felt like it was longer than 1 week since we got a chapter. I don't know if it was just me feeling like that, but it definitely felt like that. And it just so happens to be the chapter comes back on a day I have to work. So you already know the routine. Hopefully you guys don't mind, and make sure you thumb up the video and subscribe. Trying to get this to 200 likes. I would greatly appreciate it, and thank you guys for all your love and support. Now let's get into the chapter, man. So this chapter really makes me feel sorry for not only Samura, but for his daughter, you know what I'm saying, Iori as well, because to find out how things actually went down in their past, I can't be mad at Samura for choosing to erase his daughter memories and all of that stuff. I can't be mad at him because of what she was going through. And then I feel so sorry for Iori because she was suffering. She was carrying all that burden. She was willing to do that in order to be with her father. She didn't want her father to leave her. That in itself was just sad, man. I'm reading this at my desk. I'm like, yo, don't shed a tear, please. Not at work. Don't shed a tear. Like, that shit was sad as hell. Like, yo, she already lost her mom. And now she feels like she's on the verge of losing her father because some people view him as, you know what I'm saying, as a killer. And I could see why the people would do that. But at the same time, it's just like, even if he did do the killing, you don't know the whole story. And what he went over to that island for was initially to protect the people of his country. So it's like, how can you fault him for being what y'all guys wanted him to be? If anything, you should hate the government that forced him to do that. You should hate the master swordsman who made him have to play that card. You know, it's tough. It's a lot of ways you could look at it. And I guess that's one of the things I like about Kagurabachi. It's like many viewpoints you can look at a particular situation and be like, yo, well, I see why this person feels this way, but then again, I also see why this person feels that way. So I really do like that about the series of Kagurabachi, how you got many different viewpoints and how you can be on multiple sides, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, they all got their own objectives. So I really do like that about the series. But when it comes to Samura and Iori, like, damn, man, it's really tragic, yo. The fact that he even tried to take his life a few times because he's suffering from that type of guilt, it's just insane to me. The fact that, you know, Iori wants to like cry out and just, you know, confess to her father what happened and, you know, happened at school and stuff like that, but she wants to hold it back because she doesn't want him to feel like he's a burden to her and leave. Like, I don't know, I just really like all of that stuff that we got in this chapter. And your boy Yura, he knows exactly what he was doing, handing out those flyers, spreading the rumors about what actually happened on the island. But I want full detail of everything that happened on the island, not just a small portion, but I want to know everything that happened on the island. And it does seem like, even though Samura and them committed those crimes or whatever, however you want to look at it, on that island, they still hold Chihiro's father in high regard, just based off of what we got in this chapter right here, where he's like, yo, despite what happens to me, make sure that Chihiro's father is okay. And then the fact that Samura was, I mean, not Samura, but Shiba was aware of everything that was going down, far as like with Samura and the rumors that Yura, you know, was spreading and all of that. It seems as if he was aware of it. He heard it from the old man. And it really makes me look at Shiba a little more differently. Like, I know at one point I was thinking maybe he was a traitor, and then I was starting to think, nah, he's not a traitor. But now I'm starting to lean back towards maybe he is some type of traitor. I just don't know how to feel. Maybe he, you know, they say he sparred with the old man, so maybe at this point in time he was actually working for the organization before he chose to walk away from it. So maybe that's the case. But I'm really curious who gave that information on Chihiro's father and their location so that they could be attacked by the Hisoka group. I'm very curious about that. Maybe we'll find out soon. Maybe it'll be a long time before we find out. But if it is Sheba, I'm gonna be like, yo, damn, he really played his cards wisely on trying to keep the secret hidden so well. But anyway, we're about to get into this chapter. It seems as if it was a contest going on for Kagurabachi, where contestants were sending in their own sorcerers. I didn't know nothing about it, but you got them on this cover. You see that 925 people, sent in their versions of sorcerers, and we got 3 that actually won. And their designs look dope, man. I'm not going to get into it. I'm gonna let y'all read that on your own. But I think that's pretty dope that they actually did a contest like that. But anyway, the chapter starts off with this crazy page where you got Samura and your girl Iori on it, and you just got the feathers of a crow falling to the ground. Yo, that shit is that page is cold as hell. But of course, you got it where Iori, she's walking home from school. She noticed there's trash outside of her door, and you have it where they show Samura talking to one of the police officers, and he finds out that his son and Iori goes to the same school, and they're like, oh man, they're probably friends. They're probably helping one another out. And you got it where it's been quite some time has passed since his ex-wife has passed away, and you got it where Samura, he's feeling that guilt. He's feeling like he can't make his daughter happy because of what he did in the past. But you got it where she's home from dinner and she's talking to her father, and it's crazy how much Samura is able to pick up on without him being able to see, because you have it where she goes to explain her day in school, and how in school today they talked about the actual war that happened on that island, and how some of the kids in school was praising her for being the daughter of a hero. And then you got it where he's able to sense like, yo, why do you have this lump on your head? He touches her head and says that. And then, but it's as if he knew before he touched her. So he got it where he's asking, where did this lump come from? She says she got in a fight in school. One particular student tried to badmouth her father. She got mad and she put him in his place. And I mean, one way you could look at it is like, yo, your daughter stood up for herself. Another way you could look at it like, yo, no boy should be fighting my daughter, at least not at that age, you know what I'm saying? And she's not even a fighter. Now I can understand if maybe she threw the first blow, you could kind of restrain her a little bit. But like to straight up try to fight her is unacceptable. But you have it where, Iori is thinking about in her head, like, yo, she can't tell her father the truth, because if she tells her father the truth, he may leave. And then you have it where she's thinking about how her mom actually viewed her father, and she goes to tell her father like, yo, mother called you a jerk, but she said you still was a hero who protected his country and his loved one and our loved ones. So for that, I totally agree with mom, and I want to be just like you when I get older. I want to become strong so I can fight by your side. You have it where Samura says like, yo, don't overdo it. It'll come in time. And then you have it where Samura ends up going back to the academy, and you have it where the father of that boy apologizes to Samura, saying like, yo, I'm sorry for what my son did. Of course, Samura is apologizing for what his daughter did and everything. They're both apologizing for the actions. But you see that more and more people are starting to find out and starting to view Samura as, as a killer, as opposed to being a hero. Each time he gets to his house, you see more and more trash bags being thrown in front of his yard. And someone says this in the chapter, and I was thinking the same thing, like, the man's blind. Like, even if you do something like that, he can't see that. Like, spray painting this house and all of that's the stuff that he can't see. You're only torturing the child who can see. So it's like, you guys should know better than that. That's how I felt about the situation. But anyway, you have it where, they come home, this man trash in front of the house. You got it where Iori says she'll throw the trash away. And while that's going on, you got it where Samura runs into some of the people who was putting the trash in front of his house. Those ones talking about, he can't even see the trash. And you have it where these I guess hooligans, I don't know what to call them, they start saying like, we know the truth, man. We know what really happened on the island. We know about the sword master killing everybody and creating a massacre and everything. We know all about it. And of course, Samura, he knows that Yura is spreading these rumors. Well, I mean, I guess it's true, so it's not really a rumor, but he knows about Yura spreading this stuff around town. And you have it where Samura is a little, he's a little upset. and pissed about it, which is to be expected. You have it where Iori, she's like wiping the spray paint down. You know, she's cleaning it off the walls, which is crazy for her to have to read these words as she's cleaning the walls. And I'm pretty sure it says some pretty horrible stuff about her father, which is probably even more for her to endure. But then we find out the truth. She's thinking about what actually happened at school, where it was multiple kids, not just one kid, talking about her father and how he wasn't a hero, he was a killer. And they actually knocked her down and starts, you know, kicking on her and pretty much bullying her, which was very hard to see, man. And you got it where even the teacher there, even the teacher that's in this class is doing the same damn thing. And I'm sorry, man, that teacher need to be put in his place. It's one thing for kids to do it. They don't know no better, at least not at that age. They're only doing what their parents taught them, you know. But when you look at a teacher doing that, an adult who should have, you know what I'm saying, logical thinking, man, hey, yo, he deserves to get fired and whatever else happens to him. But of course, you got it where she's thinking to herself, like, I can't tell my father because I don't want to lose him. You know, he's just got back in my life. One of the main reasons he wasn't in my life before is because he felt like his hands were stained with too much blood. And if I was, you know what I'm saying, if I was the, you know, tell him the truth, he may disappear again. But of course, you got it where Samura, he's well aware of what's going on and how his daughter's life is going to be, you know, going forward now that people are starting to find out the truth of what happened on that island. And he's hurting. He's hurting because he wants the best for his child. Any parent would. And he feels like he's going to be the cause of all the pain and suffering that she's going to go through in her life. Not only that, just thinking about your words where he said, you know, a great destruction is going to come in the future, similar to like what took place on the island. And you got it where he's just feeling, he's hurting. He's really hurting. And then they have it where he's talking to Sheba about the situation. And, you know, Sheba's like, yeah, the old man told me about what Yura said and what's supposed to be happening in the future. But that's not possible since the sword master as well as his sword is locked away. And then you got it where your boy Samura says like, yo, well, I'm counting on you to protect Chihiro's father. I don't know his name by heart. I always be forgetting it. But of course, you have it where it goes to the panel where he gets the phone call about Chihiro's father being killed, him laying there dead. And I'm assuming that's when your boy Samura came up with his plan to eliminate the sword master, which is where we currently are in the story. But all in all, it was a good chapter. Sad, but a really good chapter. But I'm curious to hear y'all thoughts on it, man. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.